Hello, everybody. Happy. What is this, Thursday? We're going to talk about goals today. I'm so excited. And the reason that I'm super excited about talking about this is that what are we going in September? A lot of you may not have reached those goals that you really want. Many of you may be getting caught up in the craziness of the world. So this is so perfect for us all to kind of regather our energies and think about what we really want. And then really together as women, as powerful women, take action so that we can be the light that's on the planet right now. So if you're here, please join. If you're not watching the live, please put on replay. Let me know what you liked about this video and what you're going to do, actions that you're going to take. So I have been helping women to reach their goals for 10 years now. And there's so much about goal setting that I could talk about. I could actually talk about it for a whole day. So I have to hold back on giving you guys the goodies, but let's try at least. One of the things that I've noticed from coaching people for so long is that a lot of people don't reach their goals because they feel like they're not, there's something wrong with them. There's something that is within them that they can't do it. Okay, I might be too old. I don't have the resources. Who am I to think I could do this goal? Other people can do it, so on and so forth. And they have all these stories in their mind until they realize that they can. And that's what I want to take you to be thinking. If you're in that place, I want you to really believe that you can have what you want, because we're going to understand, first of all, universal law. We're going to understand how our mind works, and we're going to understand the science of goal setting and achieving. Now, why do we need goals? Because goals give order to the mind. A good goal has the potential to really change your life, really, because if you don't have goals, it's kind of like going out of your driveway and saying, well, what direction do I go into? Do I turn right, or do I turn left, or do I go straight? And we can waste a lot of time. We can waste a lot of money if we don't know exactly where we're going and why. One of the things that's really important, I think, about goal setting and achieving, and this is so cliche, but really understanding why it is that you want that goal. What is your purpose here on the planet? And really crafting your goals according to your purpose and your why. It's not enough to want more money. It's not enough to want a better house or a better life. Those are side effects of setting the right types of goals, believe it or not. Getting things are all side effects of really taking a deep dive within your soul, really digging deep as to who you are, why you're here on the planet, why you've shown up at this time, especially this crazy time, and then really understanding who you want to be, coming from your higher self. I think goal setting and achieving is a little backwards. I think that we should go towards, who do I want to be? What is my higher version self first? And craft that, and then craft the goals. But I'm going to do it the backwards way, the way that it's typically taught. But in my coaching program, I'm actually moving towards this because I've just seen it be so profound, the results of this. So when you know your purpose and your vision, then you can craft your goals. I've talked about vision in my videos before, but your vision is a big picture description of you living your goals, your ideal life 3 to 5 years from now. A lot of people don't have a vision. A lot of people don't have very clearly crafted goals that are from the soul. And because of this, they are not motivated to get up in the morning. They're not fired up. They allow outside influences to affect them. And this is the power of really knowing what you want. Is you are on fire. You cannot wait to work on yourself and work on your stuff. You cannot wait to take action every day. You get up excited about life, even in the midst of chaos and everything that's going on. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I'm super excited to help people. We need this on the planet. So the first question that I ask everybody is, what is your purpose here? What is your why? But then what do you really, really want? What do you want to experience in this lifetime? And those things that you really, really want, sometimes we hold back because we don't believe that we can have it. We say, no, I think I only believe. I was on a sales call with somebody not that long ago, and all she could believe was what her circumstances and what she had done prior. She could not even think bigger than what she could see in front of her. And this is the common mistake why people don't set the right types of goals. Is number one, they're setting it with a limited self-image. Number two, they're setting it only by what they think they could do based on their present resources and circumstances. So anybody who's ever created powerful change on the planet has gone beyond their present circumstances. They've gone beyond their resources and what they think they can do. And they went towards something extraordinary, something that other people didn't think they could even do. And that is the secret to goal setting and achieving for you. I want you right now, whatever it is that your goal is, I want you to make it 10 times bigger. And yes, I know it's scary. I have a lot of people freak out when I initially give them this concept about goal setting and achieving. But if you don't go for what you really truly want and you're not emotionally involved with the goal, guess what? This is why people set New Year's resolutions and they don't end up achieving the goal, why they end up fading out of it. You know, it's like, oh, it's too hard. It's going to require sacrifice. And I was thinking about this in the shower. We start to get this Eeyore energy that, oh, it's going to be work, instead of the Tigger energy. Woohoo! I am super connected with my goal. I cannot wait to get started with my goal. So there are two different types of goal. Actually, there's three different types of goals that we teach in the Thinking into Results program with Bob Proctor. The first type of goal is something that you already think you can do. It's something that you've done before. There's no inspiration in those types of goals. For example, if you've earned $5,000 a month and you have that goal to earn $5,000 a month, that's an Eeyore goal. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but you're not going to be fired up by that goal. So number one, that's called an A goal, something you've already done. A B goal is something you think you can do. It's a plan. If I do this and I do that, I think I can achieve this goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's timed. You know, a lot of times it could be based on should. That's really not an end goal, it's a means goal. For example, let's say that you have a goal of becoming a lawyer, okay? A means goal is I'll have to go to school for this long, I'll have to get the student loans, I will have to do A, B, and C to become a lawyer, right? But that is a B goal, because you're like, I think I can become a lawyer if I have all these elements in place. There's no inspiration in that type of goal setting, but that's the kind that most people set. And that's why they're getting very limited results. So the big C goal is called the big C fantasy goal. It's something that you really, really want. It's an experience. It comes from your soul. It's way bigger than anything you could have ever imagined. It makes you feel scared and excited at the same time. And it's something far beyond your present circumstances, because the purpose of a goal, believe it or not, is to help you to grow. It's to help you to become someone you have no idea that you can become. And this type of goal is so fun because it's super exciting to grow into the goal, because you have to become someone else. You can't get caught up in the same old thinking process. You can't get caught up in the same old belief systems. You can't get caught up in the same old habits. If you want to achieve bigger goals in your life, you literally have to, the old you has to die off and you become somebody else. But it doesn't have to happen all at once, okay? People get really scared, and that's not how it works. It is, this is why it's so important to have a system, because systems take you by the hand, step by step, towards growing into the goal, setting that belief system that's going to be in alignment with that big C fantasy goal. And the C fantasy goal is the end, okay? So there's means goal and end goals. And the big C fantasy is, for example, something that you've never done before. Let's say you've never bought $1 million house, or you've never earned $1 million. Now that might seem fantastical or nearly impossible, but when you understand how your mind works and how universal law works, your belief system starts to change. You actually start to believe that you can have that goal. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how your mind works. You have your conscious mind that's responsible for 5% of your behavior. It's the part of the mind that school focuses on. It says, here, read this book. Now memorize it. Now repeat the book back to me, right? And then you say, wow, I know something. I repeated this book back to you. I memorized what's in the book. But guess what? That didn't get integrated into my behavior, because 95% of my behavior is coming from the subconscious mind. And so when you set a goal, and that goal's only rolling around in your conscious mind and it hasn't been integrated into the subconscious, the part of you that's super powerful, the part of you that knows how to access all the answers. This is the common mistake that people make, is they don't know how to integrate the goal into their subconscious and that integrate the belief with the behavior. So let me ask you this. Do you really believe that you can have your goals, whatever it is that you've set forth for yourself? Because if you don't initially believe it, you can believe in it, but if you stay in that state of wanting and that state of just pushing and trying to force it to happen without the belief, the inner knowing being in place, I guarantee you by December, you're going to still be working on your goal and not much is going to happen. I guarantee you by next year, you may be, unfortunately, in the same place you are now. So it's really, really important to understand universal law, because there's a law that's the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, that everything comes from the invisible, the world of the imagination. It goes through our mind and then it gets birthed into physical form, okay? Now, in order for it to get birthed into physical form, there has to be a period where you hold the vision, the goal, to the exclusion of all outside distraction. And there has to be that period where there's a complete faith that you can have your goal. There has to be an assumption, it's called the law of assumption, that you are that type of person that can achieve that goal. So these are the laws, and if you don't follow these laws, then your goal is going to be somewhere in the future. Ask me how I know this. And you're going to continue to work hard, and you're not going to have a whole lot to show for, and I don't want that for you. I want you to succeed in whatever it is that you want to do. So Here's a few things to ask yourself in relationship to your goal. I want you to get a pen and paper and write down now, what is my goal? What do I want to achieve in the next month? What do I want to achieve in the next 3 months? Okay, if you can't believe in a big C fantasy goal yet, I want you to break it down into bite-sized chunks, okay? But here's a few questions that you really want to ask yourself if you've written down your goals. So for example, I'm so happy and grateful. I always start with I am so happy and grateful now that I am ... So your goal could be something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn 10K a month doing what I love, let's say. Okay. And by the way, I would love for you to post in the comments what your goals are, so that we can discuss it and support you, especially in the Soulful Biz group. So here's a few questions to ask yourself when you set your goal, okay? Am I emotionally involved with the goal? Does the goal really inspire me? Does it make me want to get up in the morning and start my day? Okay, if you're not emotionally involved with the goal, it's not a good goal. Or there's something blocking you from that emotional involvement. There's some kind of belief, okay? Number 2, do I believe that I can have this goal? Do I believe I'm that type of person? Do I have an assumption that I can achieve this goal? Now, I will tell you that initially when you set big goals, you will not believe it. The belief comes from reprogramming your mind for that goal. But here's the thing. If you do not believe it, you will not achieve it. And that is just universal law. It's kind of like, throwing a rock from a tall building and expecting the rock to fly up. It's just not going to happen. So there's ways for you to change your belief, but ask yourself that question, do I see myself as that person? The self-assumption, how you see yourself in your mind's eye, is everything. It's so critical to goal setting and achieving. Does this goal make me feel excited? Does it scare me a little because it's taking me beyond the limits of my mind? If it's not exciting you and scaring you, you're going to go sideways. So here's the next question. Am I living as if I am the person with her goals achieved? If you're not living as the person with her goals achieved, taking daily action towards those goals, you're going to go sideways. Okay? A lot of people, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people say, yes, I believe it. I believe it. But if you're not seeing your behavior change, if you're not seeing some change in your results, I guarantee you the belief is only rolling around in your conscious mind. And remember, the conscious mind is only responsible for 5% of your behavior. That goal hasn't been implanted into the subconscious. And I talked about this in other videos. How do we implant the goal into the subconscious? Well, we do it by a process of repetition, right? There's a really funny story about, this is one of my favorite books. It's called The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. There's a phenomenal chapter in here about goal setting and achieving. And she's a hoot. Her name is Edwene Gaines. And she talks about how she had this goal to go to Mexico once. And she did everything her teacher, her coach, whoever told her to do. She wrote the goal down. She visualized. And then she really acted as if, they call it demonstration, or demonstrating that you already have the goal. So she went to the, what is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm just drawing a blank. The travel agency. And she booked her trip, okay? And then she didn't have the money to put down on it, by the way. But she kept acting as if. So at the time, she was really broke, and her teacher said, do something that will make you feel like you're rich, that you have the money and that you're vacationing in Mexico. So she says that she got these olives. She was on such a tight budget that she bought these olives stuffed with pimentos or garlic, I forget. And this was like a huge splurge for her. So she calls her friend Lana and she says, Lana, I'm coming over. We're going to sit by the pool. We're going to eat my olives and drink champagne, and we're going to pretend like we're in Mexico City. And so she took the action as if she had the goal achieved. Now, I think it was hours before the travel agent was going to cancel her trip because she didn't put the deposit down. And she goes to her mom's house, and you know, she said, I typically never got mail from my mom's house, but she was such a badass with holding the vision, getting emotionally involved, acting as if impressing it into her subconscious mind, that she went to her mom's house. And long story short, there was the exact amount of the deposit she needed in the mail from somebody from long ago that felt like they owed her money. She went on the trip, had a fabulous time. And this is the power of focus. So a lot of people, they have a goal. They may write it down once or twice, but revisiting the goal consistently is so powerful. Why is that? You got to know how your mind works. We have something called the reticular activating system. And when we put the goal at the forefront of our mind, we're causing our mind to notice now and be in alignment with that goal. Now our mind starts to look for things that are a match to the goal. And this is why Bob Proctor teaches a lot about writing your goal on a goal card and reading that card several times a day. Or if you don't want to do that, you can put it in your phone. I have mine right here on my lock screen. But revisiting the goal, impressing the goal, acting as if you're living the goal, having fun with the goal. That is what's going to help the goal materialize into the physical. But like I mentioned, it's super important to hold that vision with your imagination. Your imagination is the most powerful, most miraculous intellectual faculty that you have. And really dreaming, seeing yourself living the goal, seeing yourself being the person achieving the goal is absolutely critical. I love this, what Napoleon Hill says in the book Think and Grow Rich. He says, directed faith makes every thought crackle with power. And so once you start really impressing that goal into the subconscious mind, there's an emotion of faith that gets developed. We don't just have faith. Faith comes with repetition. And by the way, do read that chapter in the book Think and Grow Rich on faith, because it's phenomenal. And faith is that magical secret ingredient that makes the goal come faster, that makes the goal come easier, that makes the goal manifest into the physical reality with so much more ease than the old-fashioned shooting, pushing, working hard, and all of that. I don't know about you, but every single person that I know that's earning millions of dollars is actually working less. I'm very privileged that I have in my inner circle people like that. They're actually working less than when they made less money. So does that make sense? Yeah. So it's not about hard work. It's about getting your mind aligned with the right goal, getting your beliefs aligned with that goal, getting your self-image aligned with that goal, and then taking the time every single day to impregnate the subconscious mind with the goal. Now, here's the thing. You can't just sit around and wait for it to come to you. Although I've had that happen. But you want to take inspired action daily. And I think that sends a very powerful message to your subconscious that you mean business. And I think taking action that you've never taken before is way better too. So if typically let's say you've had a goal of losing 10 pounds, right? Let's use that example. If you just had the goal of losing 10 pounds, oh, that's an Eeyore type of goal, right? But what if you created this beautiful vision that you're in the best health of your life, that you look fantastic in a bikini, that you feel so sexy hot in your clothes, that you look 10 years younger because of it. You create this whole vision, right? Now you break down that vision into some steps. This is why you need systems. There's a book called Atomic Habits, and he says systems are sometimes better than even setting goals. So I really believe in backing your goal with systems. So the system may be you have to go to Jenny Craig or whatever it is. You have to hire a personal trainer. You have to clear out your pantry and food prep every week. All the while focusing on that image and getting emotionally involved with the image. But the systems are just as important as the end goal. So with that being said, you have my point that I was going to make is the action. You want to take the action, but from a place of abundance, from a place of already having the goal, from a place of the woman living her goals achieved now. How does she think? How does she behave? Who does she hang around with? It's super important. And guess what? It's way more fun too. You gotta have fun with all this stuff. You gotta keep it light. One really important thing that I was listening to, I have a coach too. All coaches have a coach. One thing that she was talking about is the detachment, to not be in a state of wanting, but are be in a state of having the goal. The detachment, I think, in goal setting and achieving is super important. And I leave my goals open-ended now. I don't have to have them by a certain date. And I truly believe goal setting and achieving is a combination of intending and then learning to surrender to the goal, surrender to already having it, but to surrender to the universe of what's showing up in your physical reality to guide you. This is where intuition is super powerful for goal setting and achieving. And getting in touch with your intuition every single day is critical. I know everybody that I know that's super powerful on the planet, they're highly in tune with their intuition. They operate from that place, not from the mechanics, the doing part. So that daily action is super important. I'm trying to think of what else that I can tell you. I think the higher level version of you idea of really working on your self-image is really critical, like I mentioned. So let's say the old you in your business would not invest in maybe in yourself or a social media person or something because you feel you don't have the resources. But the higher level you, the woman with her goals achieved, what would she do? Of course she would invest. Of course she would invest in herself. Of course she would invest in a social media person. And she would be highly resourceful. I always say there's no lack of resources. There's a lack of resourcefulness. Tony Robbins teaches this. Once you make that decision, you're going to take powerful action to make that decision come true. You're going to find the resources because they flow from decision. They flow from having a place to spend the money. So do you see the difference here? Living from your goals achieved versus living from not having the goals, from lack and limitation. It's completely different, right? There's a different energy behind it. So anyway, I hope that this helps you. There's a system that I teach that's phenomenal. It's called Thinking into Results. I also have another system called the Thrive Academy. Systems are critical for goal setting and achieving. Coaching is a powerful force for manifestation and goal achieving, because when you have somebody there, the accountability, the systems, and the weekly appointments with somebody there that's going to take you step by step and show you how, is super powerful. So I have many women. Oh, thanks. Somebody said very good explanation. Thanks for your feedback. I appreciate it. I love this stuff, so it's super exciting for me to talk about it. So yes, systems help us to achieve our goals. The Thinking into Results system has been coached all across the planet for over 10 years. It's caused people to earn an Oscar, do all kinds of fantastical things. You can look it up online, but that is the program that I'm coaching right now. And if you want to know more about it, it's a formula. It's like A plus B equals C. If you follow it, if you follow the science of it, it will work. I've seen this happen over and over. I've helped clients to do this. I have one client who finished this program and her business has exploded. She's exploded. Her results are phenomenal. So if you want to know more about this, send me a DM. I am going to have a 3-day challenge coming up in my Soulful Biz group, in the private group, where I'm going to be teaching a lot more of this stuff. So stay tuned for that and have a phenomenal day. I really want you to reach your goals. I don't want to see you come December be like, oh my gosh, I didn't achieve anything I wanted. I let the outside world take control of my thinking. I let my doubts and insecurities take over. And now here's December, Christmas, and I'm not where I want to be. I don't want to see that happen to you, okay? So make a decision right now that you're going to have your goal, and go for it, girl or boy, whoever's watching. And I love you guys. I'm so happy you were here, whoever attended, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to go have fun now. Bye, guys.